our last session we understood about we were discussing on internal table operation, right? Some of them we have done already, and okay, so let's understand about other internal table operations. Okay, so next is delete. So what is the use of delete now? Okay, let's see. Okay, so delete is used to delete the records of an internal table. Okay, it is used to delete the records in an internal table. Okay, it is used to delete the records in an internal table, right? So that is the use of delete statement. Let's see that in the system. If let's say you want to delete any of these rows from an internal table, so you can delete it. Okay, so whenever you delete any row in the middle, so the below rows will be moved one step above. Okay, depends on how many rows that you are deleting. So let's log into the server and see. Okay, so let's comment this line and delete it underscore mara where empty at is equal to maybe this. Let's see. Okay, so this is to delete the records. Okay, so and we also have index operation, delete it underscore mara index 1, maybe that means delete the first row, and this is like delete where with where class. Okay, to mention or to tell the system that this is the record that I want to delete. So let's see that in the system. Pretty printer, check for an error and then activate and execute. So now let me replace this with the internal table tool and it underscore mara. So now you see I'm going to delete the first record. This is how you say please delete the first row, this row, right? So let me execute the statement. Now it's been deleted. So this is like wherever the material type is FERT, you please delete those rows, this one, and then this one. You see all these rows will get deleted now. See, this is how you can delete the records from an internal table. Understood? Understood or not? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so next one is delete adjacent duplicate. Okay, so delete adjacent duplicate is used to delete the adjacent duplicate records. Okay, for this, sorting internal table based on comparing column is mandatory. Okay, if you are not sorting, then maybe internal table may not have the adjacent duplicate rows. In that case, it will not delete. Okay, it's mandatory to sort your internal table before deleting. Okay, so this is the important point that you should remember when you're using adjacent duplicate. Okay, so let's say what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sort the internal table based on maybe material type. Sort it underscore mara by mtart. Okay, and then let's do delete adjacent duplicate. Delete adjacent duplicates from it mara where or comparing mtrt. If you don't write comparing statement, internal table will or this considers the key fields of an internal table and then delete it. Okay, so you also have to mention comparing if you want to tell the system that based on which column you want to delete the rows. Okay, let me execute and show you how it works. Okay, so now I'll just go here and then replace the table tab, and now I'll double click on it mara. You can see it is been sorted already. Comparing, when you compare this column, so there is no duplicate for ABCD, but for the FERT column, these three are the duplicate rows, right? For FERT, these are the adjacent duplicate rows for this row. So how it happens, because whenever you delete this row, the previous row will come to the third row, so even that will get deleted, and this one and also this one. You just see now this adjacent duplicate rows will get deleted. I'll execute. Now you see only one FERT is available. Okay, if you want to delete adjacent duplicate rows, in that case you can use delete adjacent duplicate. Understood? Understood the use of adjacent duplicate rows?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's try with MATNR one more time. So now you see for the charger, this is the adjacent duplicate row, and there is no adjacent duplicate row for this one and even for this, but for the monitor the adjacent duplicate row is this, right? So this row and then this row will get deleted. You see now, right? Only one charger and one monitor left. These two rows been deleted. This is what delete adjacent duplicate rows. Understood? Is this clear to all of you?
Yes.
Hello, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now this is done, and next is modify. Okay, it is used to modify rows in an internal table. Okay, it is used to modify the rows in an internal table. That means the data, or change the data, or else let's say to change the rows in an internal table, right? So let's see. I'll just comment this two lines And what I'm going to do now, maybe I will try to modify these two columns. Okay, so modify IT underscore Mara from work area underscore Mara. Okay, and can say index 2. That means modify the second row of an internal table. Okay, to tell the system that only modify these two columns, okay, you can also include an additional keyword called transporting, mtart and matkl, like this. Okay, you can include these two columns, activate it and keep the breakpoint here, and then let's see. Transporting is used to specify the columns to be modified. Okay, so transporting is used to specify the columns to be modified, right? So let me show you. You see now in the work area Mara there might be so many rows, right? So many values, even other values. You see monitor I, FERT, 01 and all is there. But the second row is mouse. Okay, I don't want to modify the entire row, but I'm only interested in modifying the mtrt column and then matkl column, right, to fert and to 01. So that's when you're going to use transporting keyword. If you don't use the transporting keyword, in that case it modifies the entire row. You see, only these two columns data modified. What happens if you don't use the transporting keyword? Let's see. Modify IT underscore Mara from work area underscore Mara. Okay, I'll just comment this out and say index 2. Okay, now you see the entire row will get modified if you are not using transporting. Okay, so if you are only interested in modifying specific column, in that case you have to use the you have to use an additional keyword transporting also. So let me execute and check now. I'll just go here and tables tab, double click on IT Mara. Now you see, okay, I just execute, observe this row. You see entire row is been modified, right? So if you don't want to modify the entire row, in that case you can add the transporting keyword and specify or tell the system that which columns data you're expecting to modify, right? So this is what modify statement will do. Are we clear? Are we clear, guys, all of you? What is the use of modify?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is move. Okay, so move used to copy data from one data object to another data object. What is data object? Who will tell me? What is data object?
Work area internal table are all
It can be an
data
work
objects.
area, or it can be an internal table, or it can be an variable, right? So anything which stores the data, we call it as data object, right? So the move is used to copy data from one data object to another data object. Okay, so let's say so this is an internal table now you have, and then you have some data in this internal table. Okay, you're interested in copying this internal table data to another internal table, or you have the work area and you want to copy the work area data from one work area to other, or you have a variable and you want to copy that variable data from one internal table to another internal table. So that's when you're going with move, right? So let's see that in the system now. I'll just comment all the statements, and maybe I think we already have declared the temporary internal table. So let's go here and see, maybe before the breakpoint keyword, say move it underscore mara to it underscore mara underscore tmp. So this is one. Okay, so there is also another keyword we will see, move corresponding, when it can be used. Let's see this now. Okay, so now it mara, and then oh, no problem. So now you see there are some values, okay, in the okay. So now you see here there are, maybe I'll just take mara underscore tmp here, and then maybe just mara here. Okay, so you have the data in it mara internal table, and you want to copy this data from this internal table. You want to copy this internal table data, whatever you see here, from here to another internal table, right? So that's when you're going to use the move. Let me execute and show you. You see, this is what move is going to do. Understood or not? All of you clear, guys? Hello? Okay, the next one is
Yes.
move corresponding. So let's say you have an internal table, but it doesn't have the same structure. Okay, you see, so this is one structure, ts mara, and ts mara underscore tmp is another structure. This has around 6 columns, but this has only 3 columns. The columns are not matching, right? So the structure is not same. In that case, you cannot use the move statement, okay, because the structure is not matching. It will not move the data properly to another internal table. I'll show you now, and then we will try to use corresponding also. Refresh the it mara tmp, and other statement that you can use is move corresponding, right? It compares each and every column of one internal table with other internal table, and then it will move the data. Okay, so that's how it works. I'll show you both now. Let me activate, and let's execute. So it mara, and maybe let me replace this with a special tool, the difference tool, so that I can show you here the side by side. And okay, so now if you observe carefully, guys, this internal table has around 6 columns, but this has only 3 columns, right? So if I execute this statement, you see it's not moving the data properly. These 2 columns are moved properly, but empty AT column data is moved to MEINS, right? It's not working properly, right, all of you? It's pushing the wrong column data to the wrong information to the column. You see what is happening here? Anyways, these two were the first columns, so it worked properly here. It is moved properly, but this column data is been moved to MEINS column, right? That was the last column in this internal table. It's not working properly now. See, it should have the kg, gram and all, but it is having this column data, right? So when the structure is not same and you want to move the data from one data object to another data object, so then you can use move corresponding. I'll have deleted it. Now let me show you the move corresponding. You see, now it will move the data properly by comparing. Understood? Move and move corresponding. Hello?
Sir, if the data
Sorry, can you
type
please
is
be
different,
bit louder?
it's let's move
Sir, sir, field name is same, but
Sir,
the
field name is
data types
same,
is different.
but
Can we
the data types is
move
different. Can
we
we
use the
move? Can
move
we move
corresponding?
the we use
So
the
like
move
what
corresponding?
data type you want to check? Let's say MBRSH, right? It is of
Yes.
character data type,
Yes.
char 1, right? What if it is numeric character? Can you store alphabets in numeric character?
We can't.
You cannot,
We
right?
can't.
Then
Yes.
okay, let's say for example okay, this is what is the character of this MBRSH? It's a char 1 actually, right here.
Yeah. See.
But what I'm telling the system, just make it as char 4, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Can we store now? So your question is, this move corresponding compare the data type
I think
or
it-
not?
Yes.
It won't compare the data type actually, it compares
Yes.
the column name. Okay. So otherwise what I can do to
Yes.
show you MATKL, right? I've stored as 01. Okay. MENG is let's have MATKL, but here I'll just make this is actually character data type character 9, but I'm just going to make it as numeric character length 2. Okay, so let's see now. If I execute, see, it's still moving even the data type is different, right? It is numeric character 2, but in the Mara it's a character 9, but it was storing number actually, so it is still moving. What if it was a character? Then it won't move, right? So let me show you, it will not move if it is a character data type. So what I'll do, I'll just go back and do some modification to any of this row. Maybe I'll just make it as AB, it's a character. Now if I go and execute it again, sorry, it should be replaced with internal table 2. So now if I execute, you see it's not moving this value, it's storing the default value of numeric data type. Understood? It actually compares the columns, not the data type of that column. Clear?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now
Okay,
let's
sir.
go back
Yes.
and say it is used to copy data from one data object. I'm just showing here for internal table, guys. You can also use the work areas here or the variables. Okay, just showed for internal table. The same syntax here. You can just replace with work area. Try that one. Used to copy data from one data object to another when structure is not same. Okay, so this is what the use of move corresponding. So the next one is describe table. Okay, it is used to count the number of records from one internal table sorry, why I'm doing this. It is used to count the number of records of an internal table. Okay, it is used to copy the number of records of the internal table. Okay, so you want to know how many rows exist in an internal table, you can use that. Okay, let's say data lv underscore lines. I'll just declare a variable, type I, and say describe table it underscore mara mara lines lv underscore lines. Okay, it is basically used to count how many rows exist in an internal table. Okay, so let me activate this and keep breakpoint here, then execute. Now you see it mara has around 7 rows. If I execute this line, lv lines will be having 7. You see, this is just used to count how many rows exist in an internal table. Are we clear? Understood or not? Right? So what is the use of clear? Clear is used to clear the content of an content of an work area. That's what the main purpose of this. And free is used to deallocate the memory allocated for an internal table. Okay, so let's go back and see this. Just go back and execute by writing the refresh. You know, anyways, we have seen it. Let me show you again. So maybe I'll just say clear work area underscore mara and refresh it underscore mara and then free it underscore mara. Okay, so do pretty printer and activate. So now you see, guys, maybe I can replace this tools structure tool. You see So this clears the content of the work area. See, it deleted all the content of the work area. And the next one is refresh. Okay, it is going to delete the content of internal table. So let me replace with this one. Okay, so even though there are no rows in an internal table, the memory allocated will still be there. It will not be deallocated. You see, still the allocated memories exist, right? Even though there are no records, internal table still allocate some memory. If you want to free this memory, you can use free. You see, the moment I use free, all the memory will be deallocated. Okay, so this is what the clear, refresh and free. Understood? Are we clear, all of you? So
Yes.
what is difference between append and collect? And free. Okay, so these are the questions you may get on this topic. Okay, so did you practice the time we couldn't able to have the class last week properly because I was not feeling well? Able to practice, all of you? Did you utilize the time for practicing? Are we good till now? Anybody having any doubts so far? Hello?
Yeah, we are practicing, Rajneesh.
Okay, you are following me, right?
Yeah, we are practicing, Rajneesh.
Not far behind somewhere.
No, we are following.
Okay. So,
No, we are following.
area.
Means while writing the select statement, we should be careful that which field belongs to which table.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay, but here like while defining the
You can have
table,
any fields. Here what we are doing basically, we are just filling hard-coded values, right?
now we are filling hard-coded values. I
It can
understand.
be any columns, no problem. But
Okay.
sometimes what we do, if you have seen, we will have reports where we might have to bring data from multiple database tables and combine everything and display as one report.
Correct.
In that case, you might have to have multiple tables columns, right? Finally, you're going to fill it by looping or reading.
Okay, but here in that case, like if you are bringing data from suppose say 6 tables, it's not required to have 6 different work areas. We can have one single one.
Yeah, depends. Like if you are using HANA database, you can
Okay.
you can join up to 99 tables.
Oh, okay.
But if you are not using HANA database, then it is not recommended to have more than 3 tables in the select statement. So that reduces the performance.
Okay.
In that case, you might, if you have 6 tables, maybe you have to write 2-3 select statements, and then
Okay.
later you have to take care of joining those internal tables data into one internal table. We call it as final internal table.
Okay.
We will see that anyways in upcoming chapters once we start reporting.
Yeah.
So where
No,
we will
whatever
have
you
maybe
have
10
defined
to,
here, right?
yeah. Sorry.
Whatever you have defined, like all the fields are not belonging to the Mara table, so I just got confused.
This R belongs to Mara actually.
Okay.
This R belongs to Mara. I just took it because it's simple and
Yeah.
we are using it from long time. So okay.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come back and understand read table, very important, and other one loop, end loop. Okay, very important guys, you will be using this every time. Okay, so read is used to copy the single record from internal table to work area. Okay, if there are multiple records in an internal table which are matching the key fields of read table, then it will only fetch the first row. Okay, it is always used to read one row, only single row, okay, to work area, okay, to work area. So let's say and this is your internal table, and then you also have an work area. The capacity of work area is to store only one row, right, at a time. So now the read table is used to copy that one row from internal table, from this internal table, whatever the row you want to copy that to the work area. So if there are multiple rows which is matching, you see even this is also matching row, and this one is also exists. There are two records with the blue color, right? In that case, system only brings the first one, okay, it won't bring the second one. Okay, so that is one thing that I wanted to tell you. Okay, let's see that in the system now. I'll just comment this and say I'll just clear the work area first of all. Clear work area underscore Mara, and read table it underscore Mara into work area underscore Mara. So let's say index 1, and there are varieties of read table statements. This is index operation, we can say, and it is also good practice to always check the size of bars value equal to 0 or not, right? So because if the statement is failed, then you don't want to do any operation that you are doing. Okay, I'll just pass these fields here, and I say please write this to the output. Okay, so we can do the same everywhere, here, here, and maybe here also, and maybe here. Okay, so this is index 1, index operation. So you can also say where, sorry, with key matnr is equal to, maybe we have multiple monitors, right? Let me show you which monitor it's going to read. Monitor, and then so with key, and there is also option of only transporting a few fields. Maybe I want to transport matnr and then mbrsh. You can also do that, and I am not at all interested in transporting any value. I just want to check whether the data exists or not. Okay, to check the data exists or not, you can use this statement, transporting no fields, right? So let me clear all these work areas before using, because it's previously filled, and then so that we can see the fresh one, right? So let's do pretty printer and activate, and let's see that in the debugger. Just go back here and keep the breakpoint and then execute. So now maybe I'll just take the structure tab here, so that I can show you. Anyways, you know what data is there in internal table, and now you see I'm going to execute. That means it's going to read the first row to the work area, right? If the size of bars is 0, that means if this statement is executed successfully. That's how you check whether the previous statement executed successfully or not. Okay, this is a system variable. Actually, it will be filled at program runtime. We will see it in the next class, what are the system variables. If it is 0, then print it to the output. right? So this is how you say print the data to the output. So next, you see this is what I printed. Now I'm again clearing it. Okay, so now here I'm saying that please read only the material with the monitor. You see there are two materials with a monitor. There is one here which is the fifth row, which is of quantity 500 gram, sorry, the weight of that monitor 500 gram, and other one monitor which is 1000 gram. There are two rows with a monitor. You see what happens if there are multiple rows exist. In that case, system only read the first one, that means 500, right? It's not going to consider the second row. Okay, so this is what the read table. Next, you see the next one is transporting only the column MATNR and MBRSH. I'm only interested in these two columns, okay, of the monitor. You can also see only these two columns are transported, no other columns data are transported. Okay, that is what transporting keyword in the read table statement. Okay, so again it will print anyway, so just keep breakpoint and press F8, and then transporting no fields. Okay, it will not even transport single column data, it will just check whether the data exists or not. If the data exists, then the size of bars value will be 0. If not, then size of bars value will be greater than 0. If it is 0, then data exists. If it is not, if it is not 0, then data may not exist. You see, it is also printing the data. This is what read table statement. Are we clear what it is doing? Hello, understood?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now the next one is loop and loop. Okay, so it is also used to copy or else let's say it is used to process the multiple rows of an internal table. Okay, the system will loop between loop and end loop, okay, by reading one row at a time to the work area. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is not just going to read one row, rather it processes the multiple rows. That means it reads the multiple rows, that means one by one row it is going to process, right? So let me just take some picture for this. Okay, so maybe the color. Okay, so something like this. So what it is going to do, it is going to read one by one row. First it is going to copy this row, and then whatever you want to do you can do it, print it to the presentation layer, or whatever you want to do you can do it. Next, after that, the next row again, print it to the presentation layer. If you are right, you have written that printing code, in that case it will print it, and then again the third row, and then print it to the presentation layer, and then again the fourth row. It is going to process one by one row and do whatever the operation. If you're, I'm just showing you the printing, but you can do other operations too. Okay, this is what loop and loop will do. It will process one by one row or it will read one by one row to the internal table. Clear? Understood, guys? Hello? Are we clear on this? Loop at IT underscore Mara into work area underscore Mara. Okay, it's going to read all the records from an internal table, one variety of the loop statement. You can also tell the system that, okay, please only read where the material is equal to monitor. Okay, you all only read the material equal to monitor. You can also do that. You can also read the records by index. You can say that please read the records from first or from the second to fourth. Okay, only second, third and fourth you read it. Okay, you can also do that, right? So do pretty printer and check for an error and activate the program. Okay, then keep breakpoint here. Okay, let's understand one by one now. Okay, so now maybe I'll just replace this with the structure tool again. So to show you one by one row, you see first time it's reading the first row, that is laptop. It's going here and executing all these lines, and then you see the cursor will go back again. You see it will go back again. Next time it will read the next material, and it will keep doing until unless all the records have been read, because there is no condition written here. You see, next time the third row, like this. And again the see, until unless all the records have been read. Now sixth record, it's going to read the seventh one. So only 7 records we have in an internal table. So once all done, it's going to come outside from the loop. You see, it's came out. But in this case, it will only loop 2 times, because where the material is monitored is only 2 rows, right? Only those records will be read. You see, one is with the 500, the other one is with the 1000, right? So after that, it will come outside the loop, right? So it will process one by one row like this. Okay, and the next one is, it will start reading from the second record of an internal table, second, third and fourth, that is mouse, charger and headphone. You see, I'm just going to execute this. Now you see, first mouse, and then next is charger, and the fourth record is, you can also see here tab X, which row is been accessed now, fourth row, and then it will come out, right? So this is how the loop statement will work. It will read one by one row, and if you have written the logic to print, it will print it, or if you have written any other logic, then it will process that logic. Are we clear? Understood or not?
Yeah. So Rajesh, also what is the use for this loop?
We will
Also?
see. Okay, we will see. Don't worry.
Okay.
So anybody, any doubts so far? Are we clear till now? Yes or no, please?
Clear, sir.
That's all, guys, then for today.